So, what do you guys think? Do you agree with Doc Rivers on everything he just said?
Well, yeah, I mean, like you just said, a defensive team like the Celtics can't give up points like that. But again, it all goes back to the Celtics are dissecting their games into small little parts. As a whole, though, you got to overcome these things. He's making it like these are the reasons. No, these are the reasons within the game. Little sections. Again, these are all qualities of a team that probably didn't have. I'm not saying the talent. Obviously, they have talent. They didn't have the final desire to really overcome their issues. I mean, if Rivers, obviously, he's the coach. He knows what his team is capable of, and he's upset with their defensive play. He's saying with Artest and putting Kobe on the line, giving up 30 points in that little however many minutes it was in that segment. But they couldn't overcome these things. And I'm not saying it's Rivers' fault or anybody's particular fault. It might just be the desire, and I think at the end the Lakers had a little bit more of it.
Do you think Doc Rivers is a potential Hall of Fame coach?
I still think Doc Rivers has more to prove. I mean, how could you say he's a Hall of Fame coach when he's coaching against a Hall of Fame coach?
But no, does he have? Is he a potential? Can he?
Here's the thing.
Does he have that potential?
Here's the thing. We have to see how far his coaching career goes, because let's face it, before he got Garnett and Ray Allen onto the team, this Boston team that he was coaching were a 24-win team, so he really didn't do anything then. I think what I would like to see how Doc Rivers overcomes, let's say if Garnett eventually retires, and let's say hypothetically Ray Allen goes to another team, I'd like to see how he'll take a guy like Rondo and develop his career and get him to the next level. If he's able to do that and be successful that way, then maybe, yes, he could potentially be a Hall of Fame coach. But right now, I don't think that's a fair category to place him under.
Yeah, I mean, you got to let the guy have a solid, or at least length in career first. Let's see that. But like James, you just said, if at the
Did you
end,
just call me Jamesy?
no, it's James D.
Oh,
Jimbo.
Should we start calling him James
Jimbo.
D?
I
James D?
don't. Jimbo?
please don't.
Jimmy? Jim?
Don't. Stop. Enough.
Enough.
If after the current big three leaves, whether retirement, whatever, and Rondo stays, and he wins another championship with Rondo and the new cast.
Yeah.
And now that would be a second championship with a sort of a different team. And if they can get, let's say, 3 and 5 years, or a stretch like that,
story.
then a potential to become a Hall of Fame coach gets hot. Right now, he's no different than any other.
The way I look at it is, I think he has a lot of potential if he keeps coaching. He has the championship with the Celtics. He was put in a situation where the Celtics were a bad team, and then he had his shot where it's like, if you don't win, if you don't make the playoffs with this team, if you don't win with this team, you're getting fired. And he won the championship that year when that was put on him. He's never had players where you're having Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, like Phil Jackson. So potentially, I think the way the league works, I think potentially Doc Rivers is a very, very good coach, and I think potentially does have a chance to be a Hall of Fame coach if he continues to coach. Because if he wins one more championship with the Celtics, I'd say he's definitely in for a Hall of Fame coach. And if he continues to make the playoffs and go this far and this close to winning a championship with
I disagree.
one more,
I
one more ring,
I
think he's
disagree.
close.
You're talking about such a small body of work and 2 championships.
Let me ask
Now
you,
he gets him into the Hall of Fame?
Is Pat Riley a Hall of Fame coach?
What? He can't even believe that you hesitate. Is that serious?
I mean, the way they just
That's unbelievable.
because
You shouldn't even be the host of Talking Hoops then, if that's how you feel.
the way they just let
I'm just kidding.
You gave me
this look.
no,
That was a death look.
okay.
Did you see
That's
the death
okay.
look?
That's okay. The way they let people into the Hall of Fame these days, from who I see get accepted, it's just, I feel Doc Rivers has a shot. The way,
but for you to not give me that look when I asked you about Pat Riley, that's just preposterous.
because the way I see it is, look at all the Pat Riley. He's just good around the league and everything. Like he's not a bad coach. He's not a bad coach. He's a pretty good coach. He's a good general manager. He's a pretty good general manager. I feel like he's another type of person I would put into the Hall of Fame because of what one, he's meant to the league, and two, because of some of the other people that have gone into the Hall of Fame.
All right, let me ask you this: what about a guy like Chuck Daly? Is he a Hall of Fame coach?
I mean, now we're going to like.
I'm just saying because you bring up
It's
Doc
just-
Rivers
I'm-
and you're talking about Doc Rivers potentially being a Hall
I
of
guess
Fame
the way I
coach
look at it is
in a short
some
period of
people go into the
time.
Hall of Fame for moments and things that happen, and the way I look at it is, I feel the way they just let people in all the time, I don't see why Doc Rivers potentially doesn't have a shot at it.
I think he has a lot to prove, Doc Rivers, despite the fact that he has.
I think Doc Rivers is close to like 5 to 10 years more of coaching before even being considered.
Talking
If
about
if he goes another couple of years and he keeps being Jerry Sloan got accepted. He's never won a championship with the Utah Jazz, but he's in the Hall of Fame.
Right. He should be.
And
He should.
Right, he should. He's been coaching for that long. He should be.
He's been
but-
coaching with one
right,
team for that long.
Right, but I'm saying like
But not just coaching. I mean, coaching is not tenure is not a credential.
all I'm
Winning
saying, okay,
through all those
all
years.
I'm saying, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this for the Lakers and Celtics. All I'm saying is I think potentially if Doc Rivers keeps coaching and he keeps getting this far with this team and they keep making the right adjustments, the front office keeps helping him put the type of team he wants and keeps bringing defensive-oriented guys, yeah, I think he has a good shot at it. That's what I'm leaving off at. But, okay, the other big thing we have to talk about on this show, obviously, now that the finals are over, free agency.
Yay!
Big-time free agency, July 1st.
Whoop whoop.
I mean, it's like I think the Knicks have like put this on the calendar since September of
like
2009,
2008.
or the season started in
As soon as they
October.
traded Zach Randolph and Jamal Crawford, they circled July 1st, 2010.
What was the beginning of 2009? What was the first game?
What, this year?
October 2009.
October, yeah.
So that's when the Knicks had this game. They had this date circled. Because this is really all the Knicks fans have ever been looking forward to is this off season.
As a Knicks fan, this is the most anticipated offseason that I've ever been through. And I mean, it's just something to.
It's like Christmas in July.
Yeah, because here's the thing: they have to be a better. Come next year, they have to put a better product on the court, and it's exciting for me as a Knicks fan because they should be doing something drastic to really change up the offseason. Whereas years past, I mean, nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
it's exciting.
I mean, even when they have done something like making the Randolph trade a couple of years ago, which I was excited about. Obviously, it failed, but this is something where the Knicks can't fail. If the Knicks fail, they shouldn't even have a team.
Whoa.
And I love my Knicks.
What's gonna go in the garden
And
then?
this is my co-host.
The
on
dog
show.
show?
I put him as a co-host. Did you hear what he just said about the Knicks?
I just said I love
Do
my
you
Knicks.
disagree with him?
I love
That
my
they
Knicks.
shouldn't be in the
No,
league.
no. He said if they fail at acquiring what they need to acquire this offseason,
And that doesn't necessarily
with the
mean getting
anticipation of
LeBron.
what's supposed to be here.
It's not all about LeBron. It's putting a better product on the court.
They will automatically put a better product on the court. They're not going to be as bad as last season. It's guaranteed not going to
I don't
happen.
think so. I don't think there's a guarantee here.
I think it's a guarantee they're not
Expect the
gonna be as
Knicks
bad.
to disappoint if given the chance.
Well, here's the thing.
I expect the Knicks to disappoint in terms of not winning a championship next year, not making it to the
Well, I
second round.
mean,
They
you're already
will-
going over your head if you're thinking they might win a
They
championship.
will be in the playoffs next season, even if they get swept. Again
Mark, are
like
you
they did
stamping
by
it?
the Nets. I'm stamping it. The
Let me-
Knicks
I
will
need-
be in
let
the
me
playoffs
see.
next
Oh,
season. Stamp.
Whoa.
Oh, it's a pretty
Stamping.
harsh stamp.
Stamp.
That's pretty harsh.
I'm stamping it. They're in the playoffs next season.
Okay.
Like I said,
Donnie Walsh is a very good general manager. I think he knows what he's doing. He has some kind of plan. It's the first time a GM actually has a plan and sticks to it. You don't just go off track and start acquiring Zach Randolph. And
I mean, at the time, it was a good trade for what they gave up for him. It just didn't work out. But the thing, though, this offseason is the Knicks, it's not all about getting LeBron James. And I know everybody in New York thinks it is about getting LeBron James. It's not. It's really about putting the right pieces together to get a team on the court.
look at the list of free agents, though. Look at the list of free agents. They have so many other free agents besides the big names, obviously. LeBron, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Amari Stoudemire, Carlos Boozer, Dirk Nowitzki. And then you got players that have the player options, Paul Pierce, Richard Jefferson. Will those players, Kenyon Martin, will those players opt out? Probably not, because they know they're not going to get the same kind of money. Paul Pierce may opt out because of the collective bargaining agreement in his situation. It may benefit for him to start a new deal and get a longer contract. But they have other players that aren't big-name players that could really impact teams, like Orlando's Matt Barnes or Phoenix Suns' Lou Amundsen.
John Salmons.
Even as a backup point guard, Rafer Alston. These guys, they're little impact players, but they mean a lot to a team that's building to win a championship. They're good pieces to have. And if you sign them for the right amount of money with maybe a star, I mean, that's already, you got role players, you got a star. You're in the right direction to build something. You could definitely make the playoffs with one star player in this league, one star player.
Well, in the East, I think,
Right.
yeah. I mean, you could get in with 41 wins.
Yeah, definitely. So
39.
it's not in this
Yeah.
league. It's not impossible, but I think overall there are a lot of other key free agents that no one really knows about that could really have a really big